Another day, another grind. From a basketball tourney, and you can hear that from my voice, back to Warhammer 3. And we have via Animae, a very known member in the Turin community, I guess, on the Empire, right? And we have Staunch, our favorite dude from our community here on the Skaven. And yeah, let's get into it and see how he performed. So, um, I know via Anime from a couple of the videos of Turin, um, and I'm really interested to see how Staunch performed here. So we have Icket Claw for sure. That's usually what you use when you have the Skaven. Then we have Skaven Slingers here, another Skaven Slinger, and then a couple of Warlock Giselles, right? And yep, then Chaff everywhere. So on the other side, the Empire is there with Boris Toadbringer, and then Chaff and Huntsman here. So really interesting. Huntsman gonna shoot here probably. Then we have the Amethyst Wizard. Very interesting. Didn't see that often. So we have Doom and Darkness. Ah, for the leadership. Very smart and cool. Yeah, so let's get into it. Let's fast forward a little bit because both front lines are moving in. They're just immediately going for... The Empire is going for point number 3 and Icket Claw is going for point number 2. So immediately we have 1 point that is probably going to the Skaven, but we have yeah, immediately really long fire. The Sunmaker is making the sun come up, to be honest, and yeah, probably the Giselles are shooting into the Amethyst Wizard. Kind of good. We have the Chieftain going for the Wizard, but I think that the Sunmaker will do a lot of damage. And when you then use Doom and Darkness, right, that's probably break a lot of those units away immediately. But the Skaven have the upper point here on this point, so now they can go for a little bit of those spearmen. They're not really strong, and then you have to try to get the Sunmaker for sure. Ashen Triads, they are moving a little bit sneakily here around, probably to get the Sunmaker. Let's hope that nothing breaks and the Skaven here can perform. I guess that the idea of Staunch is to occupy this point as much as possible, focus all the army here down, right, and then kind of sneak around and crunch this Sunmaker down. But to be honest, that is probably easier said than done. Now Boris is flying down and fighting Icket Claw. Yeah, that is going to be a tough thing here. Yeah, so Icket Claw is running away and Boris has to go into the air. Icket already, oh my gosh, Icket is broken and running away. Wow, that was a quick one for sure. Yeah, he's speedy and stuff, but that's not enough. Now without the Lord around, well, he is back online, but I think that Staunch should have used maybe a little bit the, yeah, stalkiness, let's call it like it is, and get the go around there. Skaven have 3 points, right? So they can gather those points around, but I think that what usually happens with Skaven is they get the points early and then they have to sustain the points, right? If that is not possible, that happens. What you can see here, they're crumbling down a little bit and a little bit. Those Giselles are trying to get into Boris' face here, and we have a nice warp blizzard going down. I call it like that as a beginner. I don't know the lore, to be honest, so I apologize. We have here, again, Ashen Triads fighting those Spearmen. That is probably a very favorable matchup against those Spearmen here. But, well, the Sunmaker is still online. Spearmen are running away. Amethyst Wizard is kind of holding back. And, yep, Boris is kind of... Yeah, he wants to go for the Jezzails, but those Rat Ogres here protecting pretty much the scene and now moving in to fight. The Empire is using Empire Knights to disrupt and engage into the other units here, and Staunch is trying to use the Ashen Triads to protect those Jezzails, because I think this is the stronger unit here that he has that can bring him a little bit of a advantage. When it comes to casting here, this spell is kind of... Oh, there was a nice spell here on the Amethyst Wizard, but I am not sure what is going on here. We have Clan Rats with spears. Anti-Empire Captain. So I saw that the Doom and Darkness spell was going down, and now, yeah, the leadership is crumbling down for the Skaven. Sunmaker is still online, but now no ammunition left, and this unit now is kind of going in and can be probably, I don't know, if you unsummon it and try to do more damage with it. But Via Animae is just going in, fighting, and doing more havoc than necessary. Point number 3 is taken by now, and the Skaven are only on point number 2 and point number 1 in their clutches, right? There are a couple of units a little bit idle, so you could use those Clan Rats, maybe support a little bit the damage. And we have another Doom and Darkness, sorry. Doom and Darkness going down, and on those Rat Ogres, I think they will break immediately when they have to fight Boris here. Yep, and this is now... Wow. So Via Animae is doing a good job of handling leadership issues around here. So he used Boris as well to give them a little bit of a debuff around there, and those Rat Ogres have to wait and engage a little bit later. In my opinion, I would maybe try to yeah, kind of hold the point for sure here. Number 2, you need to hold the point as long as possible. But also what he's doing, he's trying to keep the Empire and Via Animae around this point, always threatening the capture situation. Via Animae now with 3 company militia here, and yeah, that is a strong counter, right? Because the Rats don't have much around here to shoot. There are still the Skaven slave slingers. We have a little bit of... I wonder where the Jezzails are, but they, I think, disappeared here. So the Empire Knights maybe did a great job. And yes, now problematically, we have Poisoned Wind Globadiers. So that is probably a really good tech against those riders here, because now those dudes get a lot of damage. And they can't run away that fast. So really good stuff here by Staunch. And he is using the Wolf Rats also to come up behind and maybe break the leadership a little bit more. We have Doom Flayers here. And unfortunately, yeah, the Ashen Triads fought those Empire Knights really well. Over here, still a lot of Doom and Darkness casts. So even if the Wizard doesn't have a lot of value when we look at it, maybe. I'm not sure yet, but he has for sure a lot of schematics here that break those Rats down. But to be honest, Staunch is really doing well. Even against such a strong opponent here, he is holding him back, and probably it's a little bit sweaty, but when you look at the battlefield right now, a lot of Skaven units are losing HP, running off, and there is not much coming after that. So I think the next strategy is to hold point number 2 as long as possible, so maybe you can gather enough points to win in the end. Boris is, yeah, Boris is a menace right now against all those rats that have leadership issues. This is really good stuff. Also here we have hold the line, more leadership to those Empire units, and now they're moving to the next point, and now it is really crucial. What will Skaven Lord Staunch do here? Right? Boris is flying in. I guess he chose a target and will move. Where does he go? He is focused a little bit but something, but yeah, it is really visible that now the whole line here is moving to point number 2, and it is flipping here, and Staunch has to hold down point number 3. Get a couple of points here for sure, but yeah, let's see what Icke can do against all those knights and all the other units that are closing in. The Doomflayers, I would maybe even try to get maybe in the rare here, but yeah, I'm the least competent one to give orders, right? Amethyst Wizard still online. He can still use a couple of Doom and Darknesses, and that is probably what will go down. We have another good cast here, hopefully. When that hits well, I think this is like a speed debuff. Let's look into it. We have, yeah, no, armor is sundered a little bit, is down. Flensing Ruin is going down. That's great stuff here. But, oh man, another Doom and Darkness and a Fate of Ibuna. So all those units here will lose a lot of HP. Boris has landed, and Boris will also cause a lot of terror routing here. Leadership -4, leadership -8. All those rats are kind of, they don't want to fight anymore. This is not their fight they want. So it seems really tough for Staunch, but he held well. So there is still like, maybe he needs like 3 more minutes to hold the point, but it doesn't look good. There are way more red guys, and he taps out, guys. And yeah, let's look into it. Like Clan Moors. Yeah, Clan Moors won. I'm always a little bit surprised who won, really, but maybe Staunch can send me a comment down there. So when you look at it, Icke, good value. Of course, you need him. The Chieftain, I didn't see a lot of. Jazeos, of course, really good stuff. And then, yeah, he tried to hold here. Maybe via Animae tapped out because he didn't see any possibility. But I think the Empire was winning. So I guess that's not really true. Let's get into the second, the reinforcements here. And in the reinforcement tab, well, the Doomflayers did a little bit, and I think the Ogres, they tried to block down. Overall, a very good game from Staunch, in my opinion. Boris, as I said, even though he didn't fight a lot, his auras were pretty clutch. And yeah, okay, the Amethyst Wizard, he did really good value here. And of course, the Sunmaker, that was obvious. It was visible. When it comes to the reinforcements, I think that the Knights here did well. So Staunch had a hard time to deal with them because the mobility was pretty visible. He dealt really well with the Outriders, in my opinion. But yeah, really cool match. And for now, I'm gonna fetch myself a green tea.